Hello everyone, welcome back. Today we are going to be doing a video that I'm not super excited about, but obviously everyone likes to know what are my least favorite books of 2022. Alright, for mostly obvious reasons, I do not own any of these books because I personally did not like them, or I either got them from the library. I think most of them I got from the library. I don't think I owned any of them to begin with. No, I did not. So all these did come from the library anyways, and we had like a huge snowstorm this past week as I'm pre-filming, so I haven't been able to get out to the library to actually borrow these books to show you, but I will put pictures up here as I'm sharing. So these are my top 10 least favorite books of 2022. So I will start from kind of like my favorite of the least favorite, and we'll get to like the worst of the worst at the top. Okay. So starting at number 10 is Spy Family Volume 8. So Spy Family as a whole, I started really enjoying it, like volume 1 through 5 or 6, but then it started getting really downhill, and volume 8 ended up being only 2 stars. And most of these are usually only 1 stars. I have nothing above 2 stars. All these are one or 2 stars. So yes, Spy Family Volume 8 was only 2 stars. I probably have talked about it in my November wrap up, but yes. For mainly the reason for the violence was just so much more than previous books that I've seen. And also in the violence parts, in the action parts, the writing, not writing style, the artwork was very hard to follow. I couldn't tell who was hitting who, what weapon was being used. It was just very confusing for me, and that's why it is on this list. All right, so number 9 is The Legend of Sleepy Hollow by Washington Irving. I'm sorry, Stacy. And my friend Stacy loves this book, but I don't know, I could not get into it. I don't know what it was. I'm glad it was really short because I don't think I could have made it through if it was longer. But I just think it wasn't a classic for me. Like I like dark classics, like I like Edgar Allan Poe, and books like that, but I don't know, there's just something about The Legend of Sleepy Hollow just wasn't for me. I do like the cartoon version of The Legend of Sleepy Hollow. I used to watch that when I was younger, but yes, so I don't honestly know why, because I read it and like forgot completely about it, but it's on this list because honestly it was just really slow for me and just wasn't a favorite, so that's why it's on the list. Okay, the next one is Evil Under the Sun by Agatha Christie. And yes, this is my least favorite by her that I've read so far. I remember seeing the TV version of this one, I think. I remember liking it more than the story, but there was just, I didn't like the premise. I didn't like how like this girl, like she was pretty much flaunting herself in public, and like, was she married? Or I think she was going after married men, and just the whole premise was just not for me. I didn't like it. The mystery, like, I think I remembered what happened, so like it didn't surprise me that much, I don't think. But yes, so that was on this list as well. All right, the next one is The Secret of Whitestone Gate by Julia Noble. This is the sequel to The Mystery of Black Hollow Lane. And The Mystery of Black Hollow Lane, I ended up giving, I think, 3 stars, I think. So I kind of enjoyed it, but it just wasn't like super great, but I was invested enough to try the second book, and the second book I think only gave 2 stars. It ended so weird. Like, I thought I listened to it wrong. I still think I listened to it wrong because I listened to the audiobook, but like there was no conclusion. So I don't know if there's like a 3rd book or if I missed something, but yeah, there was just something going on there. I have no idea what happened, so that's why that's on that list. It was like a secret society, but like you never knew what was going on or why the secret society was like created or whatever. So yeah, it was quite weird. I don't remember at all what happened in that one. Okay, so the next one is Orion Lost by Alistair Chisholm. I had such high hopes for this one. I love sci-fi and fantasy middle grade books, This one just fell completely flat for me. I didn't like it. I didn't like the characters. I thought it pretty much read like a Star Trek episode, but like a badly done Star Trek episode. So, yes. All right, next one is Glass Town by Isabel Greenberg, and this is the graphic novel version. I have not read the full-length novel version, which I didn't realize there was one. Or maybe, no, I don't remember. But yes, I think I gave this one 1 star. I didn't like the artwork, and the storyline was just very, very slow paced to me. I just couldn't get into it. It was, yeah, I think it was mainly the artwork, and I don't know, the different characters were very like one note, it seemed. I don't know, just really slow paced, and I didn't particularly enjoy it. Maybe I would have liked the full length novel better, probably. I don't know. I don't think I'm invested enough to find out, so sorry about that. All right, and then the next one that I have a graphic novel, Xena Penance by Meredith Finch. It's Finch. But I only read it to fulfill the X in my A to Z book challenge because I had none, and that was short, and I didn't like it. I didn't like the storyline. I didn't like the characters. I prefer the TV show better than that. Yeah, it wasn't that great. I didn't like the artwork that much. Yeah, it wasn't that great. I honestly don't know if I would read it again because I am doing the A to Z challenge again next year. So I might do another Xena book, but I'm hoping I don't have to and I can find something else because I didn't like it. All right, the next one. Oh, wow. This one is, yeah, this is in the top 3. Moving Day by Meg Cabot. This is a kind of, I think, low age middle grade book. Oh, the main character was so annoying. Like, I don't remember what it was about. All I remember is her character was so annoying. I think that her and her family were going to move somewhere, and she was like, she didn't want anything to do with it, or maybe she was already moved there. But yeah, it was like she was acting like a spoiled brat the entire book, and there was no change in her character at all throughout the book. I did not like her character. So yeah, that's why I made the top 3. Didn't like it. All right, and then the second to last one is only for one reason only, and that's Hangman's Curse by Frank Peretti. I enjoyed the first 3/4 of the book. I was invested. I wanted to know what was going on. It's about these kids who are having these hallucinations in school, and they're all kind of freaked out. They're wondering what's going on. There's these kids who dress in dark clothes, and they're kind of like, like there's some secrets going on, like what are they doing? They might have a club that's not that safe and not that clean. So yeah, so it is a Christian book because Frank Peretti's a Christian author. But the ending, I'm not going to spoil anything, but I do not like spiders. And I'm okay if there's like, a cute spider in like a kid's book and it's a friend of somebody, sure. Not this. No, I'm glad I didn't have nightmares in this book because that was a freaky scene at the end, and no, that's why I made it on the top 2. No, just no. Very, very creepy. If you do not like spiders, do not read that book. The second book is fine. If you want to read the second book in that series, it has nothing to do with the first book, so go ahead and read that one. It has no spiders, but the first one, just skip it. All right, and then my top one is The Enlightenment of Bees by Rachel Linden. And yes, this is my top of the not so favorite books of the year. And this one made the top list because it is published by Thomas Nelson, which if you do not know, it used to be a Christian company, got taken over, and a lot of the times now they're just clean fiction, which is fine. It doesn't have to be faith-based. It can be clean. I love clean books. But this one, the storyline was okay, but there was no faith content, which is fine for Thomas Nelson. I'm fine with that. But they had instances where it got very in-depth with like almost enlightenment feels to the book. And for me, it's like that's mismarketing almost because you're supposed to be a Christian company. I don't care if you have faith in books. I mean, I do. I would love that. but as long as it's clean, I'm good. But that's not really a great marketed book for Christian readers. And it's not like, it doesn't mention enlightenment, but it does kind of have that underlining look of enlightenment. Like, she talks about certain things where, yeah, like you feel like she's gonna ask God for directions, but like she goes in a completely different way and almost thinking in that direction. And I was like, I don't like this. Like, I started off with, I think, a 3 stars, but like I started talking with my friends and I was like, oh yeah, it did feel like that. And like it completely went downhill from there. I dropped it to a 1 star, and that's why it's at the top of the list. It's mismarketed. I probably won't read any of her books after that. Even though the cover's cute, that's about all I'd give it. So, I mean, the story is cute, but yeah, because of that reason, yeah. So yeah, those are my top 10 least favorite books. Let me know if you've read any of these. We can talk about it. We're all nice here. We're all family. So yeah, so let's go ahead and talk about it, chat about it in the comments down below. And yeah, I think I ranted more this year than last year. But all right, so thank you for tuning in. I think this is honestly the hardest video to film because like you don't want to beat up on any author's work, but I honestly probably would have had worse ones to put on here, but if they're worse than this, then they are DNF'd and they don't go on this list. Only books that I actually finish 100% through go on this list. So yes, maybe I should do that next year. I'll try to keep track of my DNFs next year. We'll have a video about that too, because I'll try to even keep track of like why I DNF'd, although I usually only have like a few different reasons, but yeah. So I mean, it wasn't a terrible list. Some of these books I gave 2 stars, but some I gave 1 star. So yeah, this was an interesting video. I always hate doing this video because I feel like, I don't want to hate anybody's books, but like I really didn't like them and they weren't for me. But they could be for somebody else. Somewhere out there. Just not me. Yeah. Okay, anyways, so I hope you enjoyed this video, and later on this week we're going to have my favorites, which are my favorite videos to film, so you will see those soon. And yeah, I'm excited, much more excited for those than for these. So don't forget to tune in. Can you tell I'm nervous? I'm not spelting here, but like I'm nervous because like I'm afraid somebody's going to beat me up for not liking their favorite book. I'm sorry. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and let me know some of your like least favorites of the year. I'd love to know. Maybe I've read them, maybe I haven't, but I'd love to know down in the comments and chat with you. I love chatting with you every day. Well, every day in December anyways. So I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I will see you tomorrow for the next video.